What's up, fellas? How's it going? We are live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel for Pick Central. I am your host today, Ben Mintz. Our good friend Brandon Walker out right now with COVID. Certainly sending our best wishes. Can't wait to have Brandon back here. In the meantime, we've got a pretty fun little crew here today with us to do the show. First of all, I want to thank Jeff D. Lowe and Nick Tarani. And Owen, you were part of this last couple of days. Appreciate y'all stepping in, hosting, keeping the show on the road. Go ahead and mention Owen Roeder. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, it was good. It was a little light on gambling, but we'll get back into it today.
Heck yeah, we will. And then also, Coach Duggs joins us today. Always great to do some content with Duggs. Duggs, how are you, man?
Hello, I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you inviting me.
Oh, man, thrilled to have you. And I got back yesterday afternoon. I did a trip to the Carolinas for Easter. Went to my niece's baptism in the Highlands, which was awesome, and then I snuck over to Charleston for a couple days. Not sure if y'all have ever made Charleston, South Carolina, but certainly one of the gems of the United States. It was perfect beach weather, ate some great seafood, watched the national championship, and thrilled to be back here and just getting back after it. Going to go ahead and start this tonight. I'm going to the Pelicans game in Brooklyn tonight in Barclays.
Nice.
So super stoked about that. Kevin Durant's coming back tonight, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm curious if Zion, who played last night, had a hurt thumb, hoping he'll play on the back-to-back. Brandon Ingram's James Harden's out for the Nets. Brandon Ingram's been out too. But either way, my first time over to the Barclays in Brooklyn. Have either of y'all been?
I have, yeah. It's an interesting setup, but it's good.
Well, that didn't sound like very positive interesting. What does that mean?
It's new. I don't know. It's just set up very weird. Like the stands are like steep and kind of far from the court, but it's nice. There's a lot of good food and drinks there.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to hitting it up. Playboy Marty and me are going. We're going to do some content and a couple. Westy, the pin attorney, going, and another pin guy. Westy's from South Louisiana, too, so he supports Pelicans. We're kind of supporting New Orleans on the roads playing tonight. They're a 9-point underdog. I got to be honest, I don't feel necessarily the best about the game after the effort last night in Atlanta for the Pelicans. They're on a back-to-back. They were up 11 last night at the end of the first. Ended up kind of getting beat by 16. So we'll see.
Sheesh.
But I'm excited to get out there. Today's show, one of the main things I wanted to touch on, man, we have the Masters tomorrow. And tomorrow during the show, the Masters people will already be out in the course. It starts early. So today's kind of the day I wanted to get into the Masters talk and preview, and I asked both of y'all to look at it a little bit. I've got some thoughts on it, though. It's going to be an interesting Masters, and looking at the Barstool Sportsbook app, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the favorites and get into it. First thing I want to talk about, so Jordan Spieth wins the Valero Texas Open last week. Great to see him back in the winner's circle. First win for him since 2017. We all know his history at Augusta. I mean, he's torn it up, multiple times winner, always plays great there. Do you think that he's still being overvalued? He's 11-1. That's kind of crazy with how he's played the last few years.
Yeah,
so
and Foreplay actually has a boost. You could get him 14-1 on Barstool Sportsbook.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a little better. I
So
just
that's
feel
on
like
my
he's
card.
so public, though.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm happy to see him doing well. You know, he's had such a rough last few years, and, you know, he's just had such a great tradition at Augusta. I think it's good for the sport when he does well.
You think he would have had higher odds if he hadn't just won the Valero?
Oh, definitely. And, you know, everybody knows. The thing is, he just wins the Valero, and everybody knows he does well at Augusta.
Yeah.
And he's so popular. It just kind of he's just such a public guy. I actually tweeted when he won the Valero, I'm like, oh, I'm sure they're going to get me on the futures. And then when I saw he's 11-1, I'm like, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the other favorites at the top, Dustin Johnson, the defending champion, is 9-1. I feel like that's about right. Obviously, no Tiger Woods this year. Bryson DeChambeau, 10-1. Justin Thomas, I actually kind of like more than the other guys of the top favorites at 10-1. John Rahm just had a kid last week. He's 11-1. Spieth, 11-1. Do y'all have any favorites of the top guys?
Yeah, I'm taking 5 guys to win outright. Out of those top, I have DJ and Spieth on my card.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
At 9-1 and 14-1.
So you got with Spieth at 14-1 on that boost definitely makes it to me that
a little more enticing. Yeah,
that adds a whole heck of a lot to it. Doug, you a big golf guy at all?
I used to play golf. In my later days, I've gone to the mini golf now more likely. But no, I still pay attention here and there. Obviously, I'm a big unit guy, so and I think Bryson might be a unit now. I'm not totally sure, but I mean
he's an honorary unit for sure.
He's on his way there. With those power swings, you do see VJ swing just
I saw that. Yeah, him on the tee yesterday.
Yeah,
VJ's just watching. Dude, it looks like he's like a tornado when he hits. Dude, there's so much power when Bryson.
Yeah, I don't know. He like swings like a hockey or baseball player who went out with his buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
and it works.
I don't know if is that sustainable, that motion, because he's really cranking it back out there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure he's got people by his side who know more than us, so
maybe.
Well,
maybe.
So of the favorites though, DeChambeau last year barely made the cut. He was super hyped up going in. He ended up winning the U.S. Open by 6 strokes. Very curious to see how he does. DJ. 9-1 the favorite. Won it last year. I saw some pics from the Champions Dinner. Do y'all think he has he certainly has a shot to go back to back.
Yeah. Did you see Big Cat wasn't happy with their pigs in a blanket they served?
Yes.
Too fancy.
Yeah, they gentrified it.
It's too funny. I'm also looking at the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube chat. We're going to interact a little bit with that. So if you guys are in there chatting, people are pumped about Coach Doug's being in here, and I'm getting some support. So I appreciate you guys. Looking at some of the other odds. So I'm looking my strategy when it comes to golf. I'm no golf savant. I'm not going to act like I am. I generally like to find value, and so I stay away from the top guys that don't necessarily have value, and I'm looking for more the middle guys. And the couple of the names I keep coming back to. First of all, I'm looking at these guys that are 33-1 on the Barstool Sportsbook app. I like Morikawa, 33-1 with his iron play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his iron play, I know he doesn't have a long history at Augusta, but I think his game stacks up well with the course. He's so consistent making the cut. I think him at 33-1 is one of the ones I like. I'm also looking at Patrick Reed, who I know.
Yes.
Reed. Here's the thing with Reed. Nobody ever wants to bet on him because everybody hates him and hates his personality, but he played at Augusta State. He's won at the Masters before. He plays well on this course. I think at 33-1, he's a great value.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of glancing at Daniel Berger at 33-1. I don't know if 33-1 is quite enough, but, man, he's a super solid player. He got left out of the Masters last fall. He was super pissed off and has been on a big mission on that front.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's kind of somebody I'm looking at. A longer shot. Look, Adam Scott, just 70-1. He has a good history at the Masters. I like it just because the 70-1 flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then another guy I was looking at, so Xavier Schauffele, who I don't trust to win at all, but, man, he's so steady when it comes to top 5s and top 10s. He's 22-1 to win. I don't necessarily like that, but he's 5-1 to top 5, and I love that. I think he's a guy that's just super steady, makes a lot of cuts. He's plus 225 to top 10. I was kind of looking at that, but, man, 5-1 on him to top 5, I think solid.
Yeah, right now I have him on my card to win, but I don't hate that. Just taking him top 5, giving up a little value, but
I just feel like, remember when Ricky Fowler in 14 top 5 to all 4 majors?
Yeah.
I feel like Schauffele reminds me of that, where he's just so steady, but he just doesn't win. And so, I know Tony Finau is super known for that now too, where these guys are just so consistent, but I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know if it's the killer instinct mentality or what closing, but I got to see him do it. But, man, I just love that value at top 5. He's always in the mix.
Mm-hmm. The other 2 flyers I had at 60-1 and 70-1 were Tommy Fleetwood and Louis Oosthuizen.
Okay, yeah, Fleetwood. So Fleetwood last year was like 20 or 25-1, so I guess he's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
If he's 70-1,
really put up any.
I guess he needs to stop thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't stop the Fleetwood Mac jokes with him. I know everybody does it, but I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So 70-1, you think he's good value? Justin Rose falling to 90-1. He must be playing like hell to fall that hard.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then Matthew Wolff, I saw 90-1. He was really hot last year, but I think he's fallen off lately. And when you look at a Masters and a major championship, it's hard to win when you're not coming in with a little momentum. If you're not confident, it's going to be tough. And so I can understand why those odds are so long. So I'm going to kind of stick to a couple of the 33s, like I said, and I kind of think that's going to be my strategy. And I don't want to overextend myself too much betting on favorites. Have y'all this is a lot of fun for me. So basically, my family has 4 tickets to the Masters. So my great uncle was named Mickey Gallagher. So the Masters is at Augusta National. Mm-hmm. Well, my great uncle was the golf pro at Augusta Country Club back in like the 1930s when the Masters was founded, and so we got 4 tickets in our family. We got a big side of the family, so I've actually only been twice. I went in 2001 when Mike Weir beat Len Matisse in a playoff, but then I was there in 2004 when Mickelson won for the first time.
Really?
And man, I've been very, very blessed in my life to get to do. I've done almost all the major sporting events I want to do in the country. I'm super lucky and grateful, but man, to me, nothing beats what you do at the Masters is when the gates open. My cousin's been going all his life, so he taught me this. You have your tailgate and chairs. You can't run on the grounds. So when the gates open at like 7 a.m. or whatever, you briskly walk. You set up your tailgate and chairs right on Amen Corner. You get to see the 11th green, the 12th tee box by the bridge, and then you can see the 12th green and the 13th tee. You're right there in the heart of it all. There's a chicken sandwich, pimento cheese, and beer stand. The chicken sandwiches are like $2 with like $3 beers at the Masters. And it's one of the best experiences I've had in sports.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Just like getting to catch the famous Amen Corner.
Do you think that's one of the best, or do you think that's the best sporting event to go to? Mine, I haven't been, but I would say Rose Bowl maybe.
I hadn't been. I'm curious to see what some of y'all's favorites. So I've done the Masters twice. I went to the World Series when I was a kid when the Blue Jays beat the Braves in '92 with Joe Carter. I was at Game 6. I've done the Final Four in New Orleans when Carmelo and Syracuse won it in 2002. I think it was 2002. I've done that. I did the best one I've ever done was the Super Bowl when the Saints beat the Colts. But I'm psycho Saints fan, and that was the Saints coming out of Katrina too. And so that's my favorite I've done. I've done the Wimbledon. I went to the doubles final at Wimbledon and ate some strawberries and cream just to say I've done that. I did the Daytona 500 on a Monday night randomly when it got postponed to South Florida.
Really?
That was cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a NASCAR guy, but man, that experience, the NASCAR thing, when you're sitting like close to the fence where the cars went by, you feel the rubber hit you as it goes by with these cars going by at 200 miles an hour, man. It's a crazy, crazy rush. And then I've obviously played the World Series of Poker main event a few times. I know poker's not really a sport, but that's fun because I actually get to compete in it. But that's kind of most of the best ones. I've never been to the college football playoffs, but I've done a lot of the bowl games. No, actually, I went to the LSU-Oklahoma game last year. I can't believe I forgot that. I went to that one. I hadn't been to the national championship.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've been pretty. I don't know. I've realized I've run pretty hot. Well, it's kind of lucky. Like the New Orleans gets all of it.
Yeah.
And so like next year's Final Four is in New Orleans. They get the Super Bowl. They get all the stuff. And so if you have good New Orleans ties, I just try to do those events. What are any particular favorites of y'all? Did you make when Florida State beat Auburn? Did you make it out there?
That was so. I had just graduated from FSU the year prior, and I was staying at home. I was just getting into real estate. Didn't really have a lot of money, and I didn't have the nerve to ask my dad to like pop out like $375 for a ticket,
and
plus round trip tickets, plus hotel. My sisters had no problem asking him. Which I found out later. Yeah, that was, and the way the game played out and everything, that is probably my biggest regret in sports. Yeah. Is not, because who knows when the next, I mean, they've done it 3 times in like 30 years, but there's no guarantee when the next time FSU's going. So, yeah, I wish I would have done that. But I've had plenty of, I've been going to FSU games since I was born in July, going to games in September. So, I mean, I've been going to FSU games since I was born.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, yeah, that's.
Did you do any of the Jaguars playoff runs?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had season tickets, Jaguars since '95. I mean, I think first playoffs we had, home playoffs were '97, I think, maybe '96.
Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, McCardle. Those are some teams, man.
Oh yeah,
those are some
and
squads.
And I'm, the home game against Buffalo a couple years ago, the 2017 run, that was a great game.
10-3.
Ended with a Jalen Ramsey pick right there. Yeah, that was a great game to go to.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you got to be excited being a Jaguars season ticket holder. I mean, this Urban Meyer Lawrence era. I don't think you're the biggest Meyer fan.
I'm an FSU guy, so I mean, have a history with him. He has a history of having medical issues at the end of whenever he kind of wants to go somewhere. Listen, if he gets us to a Super Bowl in a couple of years, even if he got us to a Super Bowl, he can say whatever medical condition he has and go off into the sunset, and I'll be happy with it. I'm just afraid that he's going to have a horrible couple years, and then he's going to leave, and we're going to have to start all over.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious to see the era, and it's fun for you. Like, just being at Barstool, like being from the South, you know, it's kind of a different lane because we've got so many. We got the North and Midwest blanketed up here.
Yeah.
Like, you're the Florida State, Jacksonville guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm the Ole Miss Saints guy. It's cool, and so you're going to be able to do a lot of content with that.
Oh, no, I mean, there's definitely an opening for a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, that's when you get up here, it is really Boston, Philly, New York, like everything. Northeast is covered for sure. I think Chaps, and it might be a little overkill for Chaps, and there's 2 Jaguar fans now at Barstool. I mean, that's got to be over the normal population.
It's like 2% of all Jaguars fans
total.
yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
man, they throw down the Duval thing, man. They got a serious fan base.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure they do. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just a matter of it's a small market. So it's we got if you're in Florida, you're Tampa Bay or Miami most likely.
Mm-hmm.
If anything north, you're Atlanta. Anything to the west, you're New Orleans Saints fan. So it's just a small market, but yeah, we definitely have the passion behind it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it is interesting. The Gulf Coast is like the Saints are so big throughout the whole Gulf Coast, but it's the Pelicans aren't near as big because they haven't been around as long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like everybody grew up Saints fans, and so like the Saints have like this big national fan base, and then like the Pelicans is like tiny.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of why I'm going so hard, and they have Zion.
For my best sporting events, I've done a Yankees World Series game at the new and old stadium. Old was obviously a lot rowdier.
That was awesome. You must have been very young at that point.
Yeah. College football, I haven't been to much. I've been to a couple routes, and then the only good game I've been to, I was there. I don't know if you guys remember, but Chase Claypool caught like an 80-yard touchdown with time expiring against UVA.
Oh, wow.
I was there for that. But I definitely have a lot more left on my bucket list than you've been.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, man, it's crazy to look back on it. And granted, I'm 37, so I'm a little older than both you guys, to be honest, especially Owen. But it's just been very, very lucky. One thing, so I want to address a couple things with Pick Central. We've got a controversy on our hands, and I'm just gonna. The best way to get, and I'm involved in it. I'll just say it. The best way to get out in front of a controversy is just to be transparent. So yesterday in our Pick Central group thread that I'm in there with Marty and Rico and Brandon and Big Cat. So basically, I have a co-host of my old Mixing It Up with Mintz in Shreveport that I respect a ton for baseball, named Tyler Moody, and we've been working together on my MLB picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit it. I'm just coming out and saying it. Moody's helped me with my MLB picks.
Have they been doing well?
Well, we went 9-1 yesterday.
Jesus
and so,
Christ.
like, there's definitely a controversy on there. We're waiting until Brandon comes back to totally address it. Marty Mush is calling bullshit on me, saying, that's weak that I'm getting help with these picks. I'm just going to look. I'm all about transparency. Guys, I love college baseball. I'm not the biggest pro baseball guy. It's not my favorite thing. Everybody else up here, we got tons of guys that love it. I'm more of a college guy. I follow NFL, college football, college basketball, pro basketball, college baseball. I play poker. I do a lot of stuff. The MLB is the one that I'm a little lighter on. And also just being from Louisiana, I don't really have a favorite team. I do follow it day to day to have gambling odds and opinions. And I talk to Moody, and we go through it together. But I'm being honestly transparent. I had the best night. I went 9-1 yesterday with plus 8.25 units. He helped go 6-1 on the baseball, and then I helped do the 3-0. But I'm just getting out in front of it and just admitting it.
I think that's all right. I understand there's probably egos at stake within the show, but I think the listeners are probably happy to get winners however they come.
So I think where the controversy is going to come in is that Kareem, who used to be the producer of this show, won 3 straight months of like the best gambler plaque, taking your picks, Owen.
Yeah.
And that was like they stripped titles from him because he was taking other people's picks. So I think that's where people are going to get mad is that, if we're taking other people's picks, then do we have to give Kareem his titles back? We're supposed to do a title belt. Brandon won last month by like 30 units, so he's supposed to give himself a title belt.
Gotcha.
Well,
so
I don't know.
Consistency is the issue.
My thing is, look,
So
I'm
why
just
don't
going
you just offer?
It's a tuck rule.
Why don't you offer to continue to post your MLB picks,
but maybe
with the
have
help
them
from
not
Moody
count,
and have them not count towards your
or
record?
maybe have me be ineligible for the plaque,
or have you be eligible sans the MLB picks.
Okay, well, regardless, I'm going to keep these going because I've worked with Moody forever, and this dude knows pro baseball more than anybody I've ever met. And, we're going to just keep him coming. I go through them with him, but I'm just being transparent. I think that's the best way to attack this.
Yeah.
Is we're going to have a ruling. Brandon's already said when he comes back, it will be addressed. Brandon didn't have a problem with it, saying it was a reference. Marty and Ev definitely have a problem with it. I'm not even saying anybody's wrong or right. I'm just being honest about it, and I think that's the only way to. I'm not going to sit here and come up here and act like I'm this like MLB savant.
But so has that been an issue? I mean, outside the Carimo and the issue, I mean, has that been an issue where people are it has to be your pick, you can't get any resources, or is it?
It's a gray area. We kind of the Pick Central. We kind of make some rules up as we go on stuff here.
TJ, there's been issues with like piggybacking on picks, right?
Yeah, and there was an NFL Sunday where Brandon took all of his picks from Nick and did really well, and people were mad about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like,
but
people get mad.
but would they be mad if they were all bad picks?
No,
That's
they
the thing.
mention it.
No, but it came up on the text thread.
Like if you went 3-7 last night,
they wouldn't say a word.
No,
well,
cares.
look,
But 9-1, I think, is the best night anyone's ever had in the history of this show. So it doesn't help.
I know, and I felt weird when I saw it on the Barstool Picks tracker. Like I didn't even retweet it because I'm like admitting like I'm getting help with it, and so I'm not like want to get on here bragging like, hey.
Me, Nick, and Jeff were on here yesterday, and all their cards are coming up on the TV, and everyone's got 3 to 4 picks, and then you come up with 10, and we were like, God damn, Mintzy on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were like, what's this going to go? And we were like, we'll give him 6-4. He'll go 6-4.
The 9-1 plus 8.25 units. But no, it was funny because it's like we're on this text thread, and Marty saw the 9-1. He's like, this is such bullshit, Mintzy. And so, like I said, it's to be determined on the resolution. I'm just getting out in front of it and just being transparent. I feel like the response I've gotten to just admitting it is the listeners literally don't care. They just want more winners from Moody.
Yeah.
Literally, they're just like, if this dude's good, send it, So we'll have that resolved. And next week, we'll have Rico and Marty and kind of some of the usual suspects back. But just in general, wanted to admit that. So far, I know, Owen, what are you following big? I know you follow basketball. You following NBA a good bit or MLB? What are you following these days?
I'm going to try and get into the NBA. I was more focused on college basketball, just helping bench mob and stuff. So I got to catch up on NBA, and I'll be covering baseball too. Okay,
well, so college basketball, I hadn't been in here since it. I thought Baylor's performance in the title game was one of the best performances I've ever seen in a big game in the history of sports. The way they dominated, because they were so physical. Their defense, Gonzaga just couldn't hold on to the ball. They were just taking it from them. They were so physical.
Literally
from day one. Oh, yeah, they just couldn't.
It was just Baylor was so ready.
They bullied them. Yeah, they bullied them.
So there for the moment, and Gonzaga just wasn't.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that. It was like almost you could see Gonzaga playing, or Gonzaga. People have been getting on me on that. But it was like the West Coast Conference thing. I know they played a tough non-conference schedule, and obviously they played the NCAA tournament, but it was like Baylor, they hadn't played a level of physicality like that. Mm-hmm. You could see they were just super uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
And, even at half, when Baylor was up 10, I thought it was a good spot to jump back on Baylor because it was only 10 because of all the free throws they made late in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an ass beating from day one. And you got to just give Baylor tons of credit.
I mean, I was just rooting for Gonzaga to cut it to like 8 or 6 or something so we could have a little sweat, and Baylor just held on tight the whole game.
Oh, it was
never a doubt.
No, it was no fluke. And congrats to Scott Drew and Baylor, too. I mean, you're talking about a program. I remember when I was a kid, and the guy died on their team. One of their players killed another player.
Yeah, Frank will not let people forget that.
Yeah, he brings it up all the time.
But, I mean, that's a long – you go from a scandal like that all the way to a national champion. That gives hope to anybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a wild turnaround. And Scott Drew, too, this is interesting in this day and age. So he was like 21-63 his first 3 years or something. I don't know if that may not be the exact number, but he was struggling after 3 years. And think about in this day and age, he would have gotten fired for that. Mm-hmm. And they gave him the long run to build the program, and look how it worked out.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess the leashes aren't as long anymore. But
hell no, they're not.
Well, I mean, it reminds me of Leonard Hamilton. When I graduated in 2012, Leonard, people were people were all about firing Leonard Hamilton from FSU because he really hadn't done anything. They'd made some progress, but no ACC championship or anything. And then I think 3 or 4 years later, they won an ACC championship, and now they've been to the NCAA tournament for 4 years in a row. They made it to the Sweet 16 for 4 years in a row. And so, yeah, Leonard, I mean, he was about to get fired. And
I remember Dabo, too, at Clemson. It took him like 6 years. You know, he got the job. The interim got removed in like, what was it, 2008? And I remember they got killed by West Virginia in that bowl game with Geno Smith when they got just murdered. And then they gave him a long leash, and I remember there was some kind of heat on him. Remember, he lost to South Carolina like 4 or 5 years in a row to Spurrier, and they gave him a long leash, and then he blew up. It's just fascinating to see the dynamics, because we're in this win-now society, but these guys, when you give them a long leash, have done well. But
what do you think
that won't become normal, though. You know that.
No.
What do you think of Chris Beard, Tech to Austin?
Look, I mean, I kind of hate it. Because I'm a fan of the littler guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Texas Tech's not a major program. Hell, they just played for a national championship 2 years ago. But
that's what's weird to
I
me.
just think it's frustrating. Like, I put yourself in a Texas Tech fan's perspective. You've been a supporter of the school in West Texas that's off the grid all your life, and you hate Texas because they're the big bad, program with all the resources, and they're in Austin, and they got the Longhorn Network, and it's just kind of frustrating, like they just come take your guy. Like, I don't know. I like it for Texas' standpoint. I think they make a great hire, but I just hate seeing it in sports, kind of.
Yeah, it was just weird to me. Like, Texas Tech has just as much momentum as like their programs are almost at the same point right now, and Beard helped build that up. It's just weird to see him jump ship and, like you said, go to the.
I mean, like, I wish you'd have gone to a different conference. Going to one of your main rivals
a different state
in the same conference just really rubs me wrong. Speaking of that, it's March Madness time still, and even though we're in April, and we're making up for last year's tourney getting canceled by going bigger and harder. Luckily, our favorite sports drink, Body Armor, just came out with a new sports drink plus caffeine called Edge. It's got 100 milligrams of caffeine and 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through the last buzzer or finish line. Plus, it's got antioxidants, B vitamins, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Edge. Our favorite sports drink, key product. I'm bad. Trying to do these, getting back used to doing the reads. But overall, big fan of Body Armor. Appreciate their support. And great product, not just
it's
reads.
Very good. I like the Orange Frenzy.
Yeah, I've been coming. I'm pretty sure that the fridge is like out of the Power Punch every day, and I'm pretty sure that's because of me. Like, I come in and I just grab the Power. It really is like it is really good.
It is, and people love it around the office. Some pro baseball stuff so far. I'm not sure which. Are you pro? Where are you on pro baseball?
Well, see, and here's the thing, Jacksonville. I'm 4 hours. I'm like 4.5 hours from Atlanta. So I was kind of a Braves fan, and then late 90s, the Rays come in, and it's like I don't have a major league team that I've actually like rooted for.
That's my problem too.
Big Jumbo Shrimp fan though.
And who are they the affiliate for?
They just became the AAA affiliate for the Marlins.
Okay.
So we're gonna see some good players coming through there. I mean, not like we have already, but now the AAA. So yeah.
Yeah. Who do you pull for in baseball?
I'm a Yankees fan.
Okay, you're a Yankees fan. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's my one team I get to see success.
I'm going through
I won't take any flack for it.
I'm going through like the cultural transition living up here, and so the stuff that stuck out to me that was just different than the South was I remember college basketball season started. I was like, holy crap, these people care a lot about college basketball, especially the smaller private schools up here. And then I knew, obviously, Major League Baseball is going to be massive up here. It's the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets. We're in the Northeast, but I'm like blown away. Like, people care even more than I thought about it. Like, people like freaking love it.
Baseball is huge, and I think the college basketball thing is, like you said, a lot of people in the Northeast are going to these smaller schools that don't have football teams, so you don't feel like a tie. Like, I love watching college football, but I don't have a single team I feel like allegiance to,
No, we'll get you down to Oxford, Mississippi, this land there. Maybe we'll see if we can change that. No, but that's kind of my problem that Doug's has too, and that, like, if you grew up, like I grew up in Louisiana watching Cubs WGN and Braves TBS, but I mean, I'm not a Chicago guy, at all.
Who would you say your team is? The Braves?
I mean, I'd say the Rockies probably.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't like love them. I just love Colorado, and summer nights in Colorado are like magical to me.
Really?
I'm gonna try to go to the All-Star game. Just got moved to Denver.
Really?
I'm gonna try to go out there because they moved it from Atlanta, and we're not gonna get into all the political parts of that. But I'm gonna try to go for content because I'm trying to help build the Denver area for us.
Yeah. Stop by Ameristar, play some
cards.
Yeah,
Ameristar Blackhawk, man. They treated me quite well there.
Yeah,
maybe hit some Red Rocks, see some shows. This fall, just by the way, I'm sure if y'all see my Twitter, I'm going nuts. guys, we're going to have the wildest fall of all time this year, the way this thing's headed. I mean,
I
was looking through it. I mean, not just – so they're saying football seasons, they're hoping full in the NFL. Goodell saying that. The mayor of New Orleans said yesterday she hopes for a full Superdome. Then, like, Owen, I know you like poker too. World Series of Poker is October, early November is the main event. I'm damn sure going out there to play the main and we're going to go do some content for that. Then all the live music stuff's getting announced that's coming back. I know Nola's having Jazz Fest in October. This fall is going to be the craziest thing ever. I'm so freaking pumped about it. And, like, every single day, more and more announcements come out, whether it be sports, music, game, whatever. And, guys, I think we're about to hit the roaring 20s here. I know I'm like the eternal optimist, and I look at everything as half full, and I probably overdo that. But, man, you look at, like, 100 years ago, the Spanish flu hit. And then, granted, coming out of World War I, that was a big part of why the Roaring 20s hit. Yeah. But it's similar. It's
Everyone
we had the big
up.
pandemic into the Roaring 20s. I think we're about to get it 100 years later. I really do. Yeah. Or at least I hope so.
I wouldn't mind one bit.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. With all, like, the Doug saga happening last year, it was like, okay, like, it all, it was such a big deal. But at the same time, like, it was because it was such a big deal. The only reason it was a big deal is because it was during COVID. And so I couldn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
Now everything's open, and I'm here, and so I'm super excited to actually have the opportunity.
That is a good point,
stuff.
though. Us three alike, we all have a weird relationship with COVID, where it's actually the reason we ended up here. So
yeah, well, that's obviously it was a horrible thing and everything. It still is, but it's when people like, oh man, 2020 sucked. I'm like,
cracked the door open for us.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad. Like, look, it's like I feel weird when I talk about 2020 because it was the best year of my life for sure. But I don't like
so far.
I mean, I love sharing it, but I don't like throwing it in everybody's face. It's losing, it's weird dynamic. But yeah, I mean, dude, 2020 was awesome. I think the COVID thing too was interesting. A lot of people, it was a great time to step back and reflect and make changes in life. And a lot of people I know did that. I know a lot of people that slowed down. They don't, kind of slowed down how fast they were going partying. And also just, you can try new ideas. It was kind of a fresh start and perspective. And so I think it's just all how you look at it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah. When you take away something from people, it usually gives them time to reflect. COVID took a lot of things from people. So, like, it really limited them to where, like, hey, you need to reassess everything.
Yeah.
No, look.
So I think grateful for that, and then just happy for everything that's going to be opening back up, more opportunities.
Oh yeah, I'm also just like sharing the Barstool stuff. I mean, this Barstool thing, it's just insane. It's limitless, man. I mean, it's going to take me 5 years to have to think of new ideas. I've got so much stuff I want to do. And then, like, look at the next few months now that we can finally get on the road. I'm going to get the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine when I go to Mississippi in a few weeks. I'm super excited about that. Have either of y'all done the vaccine yet?
No, I have to sign up for mine. I think you could go to, like, the Javits Center or something.
Yeah, they've got them around. Some of our guys are starting to take them.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to just do the one-shot, I think. But I'm looking forward to getting that and then just getting on the road. I'm doing the LSU Ole Miss baseball series and Ole Miss spring game in a few weeks and going to run down and do like a New Orleans Baton Rouge little run. And then I've also, it's just awesome working here when you like meet with the higher ups and you're just like, hey, this is the idea I have. They're just like, yeah, go do it.
Yeah.
You think it's a good idea? People will care, do it. I'm just like, really? I've worked for like media companies where usually it's like pulling teeth to get stuff approved. And here they just, everybody's just so open-minded.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to try to focus this next couple months. I'm going to go real hard on the college baseball for like 2 months through Omaha, and we're just going to see. Like, there's a lot of Southeast support for it. I know Doug's Florida State, one of the best programs ever. I mean, I know Mike Martin's son's coaching now, but I mean, Mike Martin got him to 13 College World Series or something?
Possibly.
Maybe more.
Possibly even more.
No, it was more, but they never won. It was
exactly. That was the thing. I think, it's just. We got there a lot, but never won it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going real hard with that. I'm going to go to the SEC tournament in Hoover and Birmingham, and I'm trying to go to Omaha too and do some stuff. And I'm just going to fire it out there with the content. I feel like I'm getting a good response so far, and if people care, it'll blow up. And if people don't like it, well, we'll find out. But I think the move is, we hadn't really done a ton with it at Barstool yet, and so that's kind of something I just want to do. And so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we'll have some lines on the games. Come the tournament. So pro baseball so far, a few observations I've got. Atlanta 0-4 start, a little surprising.
Not a good start.
Phillies sweeping them over the weekend. I know we saw the video of Smitty and Big T there, which I thought was funny. I mean, you don't want to overreact to a 162-game season, but still, I mean, not optimal.
Mm-hmm. They're down 3-1 right now.
Are they?
Yeah, they were minus like 180. They're down 3-1 in the first. But based on that, I think they're playing again after this, so I'll probably take them.
Houston Astros off to a really strong start too, 5-1, and kind of one of those things where they're the villain team for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But man, what a start for them! And conversely, they played Oakland, but Oakland 0-6. Oakland's hyped up this year too, a little bit. So they got to ride it. But it's just so weird. Like when you like step back and you try to analyze pro baseball. I mean, it's a 162 game season. Like, it's so easy because people are so excited when it starts to overvalue the first few games.
Yeah, no, you really have to wait like 30 games.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of like a pro baseball. Like, I'll follow it, but then, like, once College World Series ends around the All-Star break, I really kind of pick it up.
Okay.
Kind of like how a lot of people, get into NBA now after March Madness is over. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I am with it, but I don't know.
That's what the long season allows for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you could pop in whenever you're ready.
No, it's just so long. But just I thought the Oakland bad start was interesting. I mean, like I said, I'm a little bit of a bandwagon Rockies fan. They stink. They're horrible. I mean, they're 1-4. They're going to be bad. Everybody hates the ownership and GM.
Really?
So that's it's fun. It'll be fun to go to some games at Coors, but that'll probably be about all I've got on that. I don't see any real hope there.
Like you said, there's a lot of bad starts, but I think there's also a lot of overreacting.
Well, it's just kind of college football is like that too. It's like whenever people are waiting and super excited about something, your first impressions of what you see, you just completely overanalyze.
But college football, there's only 12 games.
Yeah.
So
but
it's
still, though, you see teams are a lot different mid-September than they are in November.
8% of the season.
But the outcome,
20
though,
games.
it's like it doesn't matter if you lose 2 games in the beginning of the season. It doesn't matter how strongly you finish. The 2 losses are going to keep you out of the playoffs most likely nowadays.
That's true, but I see like gambling mistakes people make in college football. Like everybody will watch a team and be excited at the beginning of the year, and then they'll remember what they saw to some team in September and use that to factor into their gambling decision on a November game when it's a completely different team. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like people are way too into their first impressions and don't look at the whole. It's just a common gambling mistake.
I think you guys remember that guy Jeopardy James?
No.
The guy who won all the times?
Yeah.
I think I do.
He was on Pardon My Take one time, and his sports betting advice was bet on the opposite of whatever just happened.
Yeah, it's my thing always hurt. It's funny, when I was like 14 or 15, I had this older guy in Monroe, where I was from, like, took me under his wing and taught me, like, here are the keys to sports betting. I'm just a little 14 or 15-year-old. I don't know nothing about it. And he said one of the biggest ones is you're never as good or as bad as last week. And that's what you're talking about. Everybody just remembers the last game and overreacts to it. And so you got to, like, step back and look at the whole situation. And then the other thing that everybody does this, it's like overreacting to the primetime Monday night and Sunday night games. If somebody looks good on primetime, then you bet against them the next week. If somebody looks crappy on primetime, then you want to bet on them next week. I think that's kind of a true. We should do like I might do like a 10 rules of sports gambling like advice thing that I think maybe people would like. I think that might be a whole lot of fun. So NBA wise, you say you hadn't been following it too big?
No, not really.
I hit a couple last night. Had a pretty good night. Denver ended up covering barely for me. I went 3-0 on NBA. Went back to the Pelicans over well.
Who helped you with those picks?
No one. I did the NBA. I did the NBA. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just trying to be transparent. Yeah. I know I'm going to get killed for it. Especially, like, I saw the 9-1 record today, and I almost cringed. I'm like, oh, well, here comes the scandal.
Yeah, you almost
I saw it. I was like, I don't even want to retweet this. I would be like, hey, man, I had my best night ever.
It couldn't have gone 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3, even 8-2, 9-1.
Yeah, 9-1, and just people are beaking about it in the truck. All right. Stable Duel app. Baseball has always been America's pastime, but a close second is horse racing, and we've got the best way to get involved and get in on all the action. Stable Duel brings a new way to play the races with lower risk and bigger payouts. Similar to fantasy football, you select your stable, your team of 10 horses, and you watch your points rack up. There are daily games with big cash prizes, easy to use, even if you're new to horse racing. Check out the Stable Duel app. And Penn Gaming, actually, very, very invested in horse racing, too. So we've got some strong horse racing ties here.
I'm looking at the...
I haven't done the Kentucky... That's something I hadn't done. I hadn't done the Kentucky Derby or big horse race.
I do Belmont every year, but...
I'll go to that.
Yeah, you should come this year.
I'd love to go.
Yeah, it's walking distance from my house.
I want to go to Saratoga in August.
I've done that.
I've always heard, so it goes back to like the old mafia days in like the 1920s and 30s. The first casinos were lake houses in Saratoga. Like Frank Costello used to help run them. And they would have the track and then that. And so it's always been like a thing, like August in Saratoga. I feel like I want to check it out. Plus, I want to go to Spock, the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. They get really good concerts too.
Really? Yeah, that'll have to be something we check out. I was looking at the exclusives on the Barstool Sportsbook. You ever take those first inning no runs?
I've been hearing people talk about it. I hadn't done it. Tell me about it.
So it's basically, I don't know. You really get to sweat it out. It's one inning and you just can't have any runs, so it entices a lot of people. But they got a boost today that I think is cool. It's the first inning of Royals Twins, and it's both pitchers to record a strikeout, and it's boosted to plus 140.
So both in the first inning to record a strikeout? I don't know. I guess I haven't really ever tried it, so I'm trying to analyze this in my head. Is it harder to get strikeouts when you're facing the 1 through 3 hitters? Probably, right?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's two good starters, and they're coming out in the first inning. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I just thought that was a cool bet I've never seen.
Yeah, well, I think today is the first. I know they're going to be boosting the BEC. It's Clem. It's who is it?
Let me see.
It's Clem, Balls, and what else is it? Eddie, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Out in Chicago, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the BEC.
And it's 3 games, and I believe it's all 3 of them are like first inning, no runs.
No runs.
And I think they're going to be doing that every day.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I love, we all do the Barstool Sportsbook promotions and stuff. I love it. I think it's cool just interacting with the people.
Yeah.
I've been doing the Mintzy Bomb stuff. I've been doing a lot of the Zion stuff, trying to build the NOLA stuff, and I think it's fun, man. It's just cool. I love the
only thing about your Zion bets is obviously you're watching it at 90% of the people.
I have to go through the freaking box scores to see if they
call
because the layup dunk thing is so weird. I have to go through it and check it. I just go through the logs after the quarters.
Dunks on the stat sheet, so yeah, I have to go through the play.
I've had to do it a bunch of times. I just hope he plays tonight, man. I'm gonna be really bummed if I don't.
Yeah, you're going to be there. You got to see him.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Because you've never seen him live, right?
No, I have not seen Zion live yet. I go to Pelicans games a decent bit in New Orleans, but I didn't. I wasn't down there. He was, and then remember he missed. The thing is with Zion though, that people aren't realizing he missed 46 games with that knee injury, and then COVID hit. So he basically you could almost argue this is rookie season.
Year, yeah.
And he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
he's better than even I thought he was going to be. He's literally ridiculous.
There was a lull there at least in his sports card pricing, where everybody had really high hopes for him, and then and then people kind of got nervous. I think he was too hyped up, but he's come around, and I think people are back on him.
I got a funny comment in the chat I want to mention. Somebody says Mintz is an enigma. So many sides to this man, most interesting man in the world. Wouldn't go that far, but I do appreciate that compliment. That's a good way to get on my good side is saying something like that. One NBA game I want to mention for tonight. So Jazz Suns, top of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
This thing is so interesting.
Crazy.
Because the Lakers did get off to a good enough start where they gave themselves a cushion, so they're not going to have to worry about making the playoffs. But they're not worried about all they care about is getting LeBron and AD back. I'm sure they're happy to be a 4 or 5 seed if they're healthy, going to the playoffs.
Yeah, because wherever they get in slotted, if they're fully healthy, they'll be a 1 seed talent. You know what I mean?
Okay, out of the Jazz or Suns, who do you consider more as like a real contender to make the finals? Because like this Jazz thing, I've seen this is their best regular season team, but I've seen them go on these crazy season runs, but they just hadn't been able to do it in the playoffs.
They're 9-1 in the last 10.
Yeah. They had like a 20-game winning streak earlier this year, didn't they? Or it was an 18-2, and they went 18-2 against the spread. Was what it was. But like, do you still see them as like a legit NBA championship? I still have questions.
I mean,
I do.
No, I don't think I really see either of them. But
I don't know. The Chris Paul thing, the Suns, I think, are better than people think.
I'd like to see the Suns. The Suns, what they did in the bubble was awesome.
Yeah, but adding Paul, I like the Suns. Look, the Suns, it's the West Coast bias thing a little bit, but man, Paul, Booker, Ayton, and Bridges, they got some dudes in there.
Yeah.
They're no joke. Their bench is all right, but
I hear the Suns like to have fun, so that's
I just hear it. So I live with Playboy Marty, and his twin brother worked for the Suns.
Playboy Marty's a twin?
Yeah, his twin brother
Holy
Palmer helps run the Suns media stuff, and so his family's from Phoenix, and so I'm watching more Suns basketball than I have. I've seen more this year than I have the rest of my life combined.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, the man loves it.
Yeah.
But man, what a year! They got a chance to get up to the 1 seed.
Oh yeah,
they did. Like you said, the momentum they had out of the bubble, they've just been able to carry.
Mm-hmm.
And that
was brutal. What'd they go, like 10-0?
They went 8-0 and missed it.
it.
And they missed it because that Nets Blazers game that went to OT. The Nets almost won, and Lillard did Dame times things like he.
Those first 8 games were brutal betting. You couldn't handicap anything. I remember. Well, I couldn't. Like they were so hard to predict.
Look, they were tough. The NBA stuff, a lot of the home it's been interesting during COVID because the home court's not as much, but still matters,
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hadn't changed my handicapping on it too much. I mean, NBA's weird. Like I just always bet on Denver and Utah and Portland when they're at home. I know it's kind of basic, but those teams have such good home court advantages.
Yeah, I mean the Jazz are 22-2 at home.
There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so that's kind of, I don't know. I just look for those splits. But I'm curious. Jazz are 1.5 point favorite Phoenix tonight. I'm kind of looking at going with Phoenix. I think that it's a big one for them.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm looking forward to that's kind of one of the NBA ones I'm looking at, but very much looking forward to that one. This Masters, you gonna watch a bunch of Masters this weekend, or where are you on that?
Yeah, I'll be dialed in on the Masters. How about you?
I am too. I'm going to D.C. One of my high school best friends works for the Fed. He's having a Masters party Saturday and Sunday, so I'm taking a train to Saturday over to D.C. But I'm going to fire some of these futures.
Yeah.
I like it, man. 33-1 on Reed and Morikawa, man. The hell with it, man. You get $50 each,
Yeah,
give it a shot.
I'm a pretty casual golf fan. I watch Sundays of the tournaments, but the majors I'll watch every day.
Yeah, and you said earlier,
going.
yeah, well, Reed 33-1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't care if everybody hates his guts. I mean, he plays well.
No, and it's just he went to Augusta State.
Yeah, he plays well.
No, and he plays well. I feel like Reed always has better odds because nobody wants to take him to cheer for him.
Yeah.
He's like such a villain.
He was stealing wallets there, right?
That was at Georgia.
Okay.
I think something happened. He was from Baton Rouge. What's weird is it's funny, Mush and Glennie always make fun of me because I always give shout-outs to all the Louisiana people.
Yeah.
But Reed's from Baton Rouge. He went to U-High in Baton Rouge, and they don't even claim it. Dude won the Masters, and nobody gives a damn about him in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's
Really?
fucked
He grew
up.
up there, and nobody likes him, nothing. And he went to Georgia. He went to the University of Georgia, and something happened where he got kicked out, and then he ended up at Augusta State.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a hell of a golfer, man.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be going for my FSU guys.
FSU guys.
Koepka and
Koepka's FSU?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
He's kind of so he's
and,
playing.
There's somebody else.
No, Koepka took some practice. He signed up last week. He's 25-1. I mean, just nobody really knows about his health with that knee. But I mean, if he feels good enough to go, I mean, do you think are you going to bet on him?
Well, I mean, FSU guys, you got to go for FSU.
Well, I mean, he's also Brooks Koepka. It can't be that bad.
Yeah.
The play I'm going the largest on is Rory McIlroy not to make the cut.
I like that too.
Plus 450.
I like that too. Plus 450. He's 18-1 to win. He's been struggling. You get to that point where his name's bigger than he's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about he kind of the Bryson effect kind of got him. A lot of these guys saw Bryson going big and all the stuff he was doing, and then it's like a copycat thing. A lot of people tried to start doing it, and it messed up Rory's swing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a text from one of my buddies who works in golf. I don't know how credible his source is or how much I could share, but he said that's the play this weekend.
Is
Rory to miss the cut?
Well,
do we have that on the Barstool Sportsbook?
So make and miss the cut aren't up yet. Right now we just have
that's what I'm looking for.
Outright winners, round 1, top 5, top 10, etc.
Yeah.
But everything will be up by tomorrow.
And Berger was the other FSU.
Oh, Berger's FSU too.
Really?
Berger's been he's done awesome in the tour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he crushes the non-majors.
Yeah, so I mean, I got to pick them up just a little.
They both got good odds.
Alumnus.
Berger's 33-1 right now, I believe. And shout out to the Barstool Sportsbook on this too, guys. We give the best futures odds I've ever seen. No, I've been gambling for years, and you shop around. I'm not going to mention any other names, obviously, but Like, I feel like you look at the Barstool odds, and all the 33-to-1s are like 20-to-1 on other books.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like crazy how good a value we give on the futures.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see it. I mean, I think it's a real, it's a great thing. And then while we're on the Barstool thing too, how about the Indiana news? You know, we're live now in Illinois, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. We're heading to Indiana next. Who's your daddy? Let's go.
Yeah.
Continuing.
Then I think we'll have a couple more big ones.
Continuing to build, man. It's exciting. I'm following the Louisiana legislation. Starts on April 12th. I'm following the Louisiana one really close. They've already passed the sports gambling. Penn owns LaBerge, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Margaretville, Bossier, and Boomtown, NOLA. So we're going to have some Barstool sports books there. I'm really hoping that the app passes there. And then Mississippi's also re-looking at the app. And then that's just the tip of it. I know we're trying to get Colorado, New Jersey. I mean, there's so many. But I feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Yeah. I was excited last week with like all the weed shit in New York. I could care less about the weed, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction for gambling.
I think so too, man. I feel like coming out of this COVID, it's interesting. Like all the stuff that the states were hesitant to do, everybody needs money right now. Everybody needs money. And so just like gambling, marijuana, like whatever, it's revenue. And you look at Colorado, I mean, how much money they've made for their infrastructure, for their roads and schools. I think people are kind of just over it, man. I think people realize, it's good. People are going to live how they want to live.
Turns out people have a price.
All right, well, y'all want to run through? Let's go ahead and actually go ahead and hit this last ad read. Actually, I did. Okay, yes, Barstool Golf. All right, the golf season is in full swing as we get ready for the Masters tomorrow. And now is the perfect time to get out on the course. Trying to book a tee time? Look no further as we are officially announcing the launch of the Barstool Golf Time app. In partnership with Supreme Golf, the Barstool Golf Time allows you to book tee times at thousands of courses. After you book, take a picture or video of the course you're on and submit an official review. Riggs, Frankie, Trent, and Lurch's reviews are on the app as well, so you can join them along with your friends. Other cool features such as Barstool Golf Rewards to get free merch will be rolling out soon. Don't be an idiot. Download the Barstool Golf Time app today, now available in the App Store. And I got to say, I'm impressed with what those guys have built.
Absolutely.
I mean,
crazy.
the Barstool Classic, Foreplay, it's a
just
monster.
Like shooting the shit with Dustin Johnson's absurd.
Yeah, man, it's cool. And then we've got like the Barstool golfer, Max Homa, playing in his first Masters.
Yeah.
Some of the Barstool golf supporters.
He's buddies with Caleb, too.
Yeah. So good luck to him. He's 90-1. I think Max is a heck of a golfer, but first time at Augusta, probably gonna lay off that one.
Yeah.
Wish him luck though.
Yeah.
Certainly wish him luck. All right, well guys, let's go ahead and do our picks for today.
For today?
Yeah. We have got them for. I can go ahead if y'all need me to. I'll go ahead and run them out after the 9-1 day, my best day at Barstool. But like I said, shout out to Tyler Moody for helping with the MLB picks. I'm gonna not sit here and lie and brag about everything. All right, so my Masters picks: Colin Morikawa 33-1, Patrick Reed 33-1. Gonna take those both a little bigger. Gonna do a flyer on Adam Scott 70-1, but sprinkled, not as big. Maybe half as much as the Morikawa Reed. And then I'm betting Xavier Schauffele at 5-1 to top 5. I like that a good bit. Those are my Masters picks. My, or I should say our MLB picks are I have Blue Jays minus -1.5, Oakland plus 140 at 0-6, trying to get off the snide. Cincinnati Reds minus 1.5, Colorado minus 115, under 8.5 in the Oakland-LA Dodgers game. NBA tonight, I got Denver by 7 at home over the Spurs, and the Phoenix Suns plus 1.5 at home over Utah in a matchup of the top two teams in the Western Conference. That's what I got for today.
There we go. Doug's, you want to go?
I really don't have much. Sorry.
No worries.
I think the Mets are going to be doing really well. But Frank
saw a big comeback last night. I don't know. Can Frank handle when they win?
Yeah, he just lets it go. He's like, oh yeah, because it's not going to be sustainable. So even when they win, like they're still not looking good.
Yeah, I absolutely love Frank. I think he's unbelievable. But it's just funny. I don't know if there's anybody that has a different 180 on like life mindset than me and Frank. Because like I'm just like eternally positive.
Yeah.
Probably to a fault. All right, Owen, you got anything for tonight? We can. We're also flashing. Thanks to our guys, by the way, that do the graphics every day. We got a great crew with TJ and Zah and all our guys in there. Really appreciate the effort y'all do to put these graphics out.
Let's get a Zah chant in the chat, please. Yeah, I'll scrape together some baseball picks. On I'll do Indians first 5.
Okay.
Or wait, give me one.
Do you like the first 5? So the first 5 bets become such a big rage because you just want to yank the bullpens out of it.
Yeah, I like first 5 plays when I love the starting pitcher. I take Shane Bieber's first 5 a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's just. I mean, the lines are catching up on it, but I've actually been tailing him for a couple years now. And then I'll take the Padres money line as well. And then I'll run through the Masters picks.
Okay.
I'm doing 1 unit on DJ, Spieth, and Xander to win. That's plus 900, plus 1,400, plus 2,200. Half a unit on Tommy Fleetwood and Louis Oosthuizen. That's 60 to 1 and 70 to 1.
Okay.
And then Rory to miss the cut. I'll do a unit on plus 450.
I'm probably gonna bandwagon off that because I could see I could see that Rory thing because I just think his name's bigger than how he's playing right now and his confidence is a little down.
And then I'm gonna put a unit on Corey Connors to make the top 10, also plus 450.
A lot of people like him
Mm-hmm.
this week. I don't know a ton. I mean, I know who he is, but
yeah, I mean, I like him to make a run, but it's hard to take one of those guys to win if it's not, like you said, a flyer.
The thing with the Masters too, man. I mean, usually you see long shots make runs, but it's hard to win if you're real long. You know, one of the best players usually wins. But to me, the value, I reiterate, it's like I don't want to take any of these 8, 9, or 10 to 1s. I like those. Like I said, Reed, Morikawa, 33 are both really good.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know are on Daniel. But you think Berger's got a shot?
I mean, for the value there, but I mean, what about Bryson to miss the cut?
What odds you see? Have y'all seen anything?
I haven't seen anything. That's what
I
was
think that
asking.
might be worth looking at too.
That'll probably be.
He barely made it last year.
That'll probably be like 700.
Do you think his game, like, how does it fit a guy? I don't know that his style, does it work at a I mean, it works anywhere because he's one of the best in the world, but I don't, I feel like he's better matched up for, like, the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I don't know enough to comment on that.
By the way he played last year.
But, yeah, it definitely makes more sense what you're saying.
Yeah, when that drops on the sports book, that's what I'll be looking for.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just watching the Masters the next 4 days, man.
Yeah.
The Jim Nantz week, Final Four in the Masters.
Yeah. Well, I have a buddy in Jacksonville. His family's from the area, and he actually won the lot. They have a draft or a raffle sort of to get tickets to the Masters.
And he won it this year.
He won it last year.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and so like, what a year to win the raffle. No, I think he might be getting tickets this year. I haven't checked, but what a year to win tickets to the Masters.
Yeah, I mean,
you
win that every decade or two.
Yeah,
and
it's boom.
Pandemic.
Yeah, at least they're letting people in though. I think it's 3,000. They're letting 3,000 total. And you have to, like, take a test walking in or something.
Okay.
I got to take a test. Brooklyn, I've got one scheduled. I took a COVID test before I came in the office today, and I got to take another one in Brooklyn tonight before I walk into
took one over the weekend.
To get into the Nets game tonight?
You don't really get used to them.
I don't know. I feel like we've taken the 2 a week. I mean,
yeah.
It's the COVID thing. The rapid ones aren't so bad. It's the PCRs when they jam it up your brain. Yeah. Hey, but hopefully we'll all be getting this vaccine soon. Got to say too on the COVID thing, man. Huge props to government with the vaccine rollout, man. They were saying when the COVID started, they were saying 18 months on getting the vaccine, and then they're able to get it out this fully 12, 13 months in. I know it seems like forever, but I guess this is the glass half full thing.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing some stories where like they've got gymnasiums and everything that are just empty. Like they've got the doses, they've got people to administer them and everything, so it's all there ready to go.
I'm excited for everything. I mean, like I said, I'm coming in with a lot of energy back today, but guys, this is about to be the damnedest year ever. We get this, like, the vaccine thing going. I looked at I've got a calendar of all the stuff I want to do that I was just grinning ear to ear at all the stuff that's coming, man. Yeah. It's just, I mean, this, I'll just share this before we get out of here. Like, I mean, everybody knows I'm a psychotic widespread panic fan, and, like, they announced yesterday a 5-night run at the Beacon in New York, here in Manhattan, September 16th to 20th. Dude, I was literally like dancing around my apartment.
Which night are you going to go to?
So you'll be at 6 of the 5 nights.
Yeah, but 5 nights, man, dude. I mean, we're going to have to do some fun. I'm thinking maybe some lot videos and concert reviews maybe coming here.
Man on the Street.
Yeah, but that all the music coming back and sports and like Owen, hopefully me and you can go out to World Series of Poker. Yeah. I can't wait to get out to Vegas. Also, Penn owns the M Resort in Henderson, so we can go out there and do some. So it's just crazy, man. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff
as the world comes back. And You know, it's just I can't say enough how awesome it's been. Even just getting to know both of y'all, man, it's just been incredible.
Appreciate it.
Loving everything that's going on. We got I want to shout out again to our team and crew over here. Zod, TJ, your dad is a fan of mine. I love it.
Oh, he's a fan of everyone.
Yeah,
in
your
this
dad was
building.
pumped. He said he's pumped I was hosting today.
He's probably in the chat, so he'll probably say something in the next 30 seconds.
TJ's dad is a legend.
He's got to be the biggest Barstool fan over age 60. There can't be. Maybe Dave's dad is the only other person.
That's fair enough. Have y'all recovered from the Rutgers, the Houston game yet?
Yeah,
that was gonna take a while.
Like it was pissing me off watching them go on a run and beating teams like without scoring that much points because I feel like we could have put up. I don't know. I was happy to be involved.
Well, thrilled to have y'all involved. Appreciate y'all holding down the fort. So the plans for the rest of the week, I'm going to be hosting. I mean, literally through next Friday with Brandon out. Yeah. We're going to just keep rolling along. We'll have Ev and Marty and Rico all be back in next week. So we'll get that. But we'll be back tomorrow talking some more Masters. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. And stay tuned for the Yak up next.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.